CAPOL 210 XML and applications. Welcome to lecture 5. The topic is creating an XML document. Before creating the XML document, we should be very careful about creating exact and relevant root tag for our XML document. XML document can have only one root element, parent, child, subchild, attributes, and also text for it. While giving name for an XML document, this is as like giving normal name for our file. The file should be very close to the problem statement or the problem space. If I am creating an XML document for students related, in the sense I should create an XML document with stud.xml, or if I have created a meaningful XML document, the XML document with proper file name along with .xml extension is important. As like giving name for an XML document, it is very important to create root tag. How to create XML document and also how to include the proper root tag for an XML document. The root tag only will identify the entirety about an XML document, so that the XML root tag must be very close to the XML document, because for the entire XML document only one root tag will be, so that XML root tag is very important for an XML document. By reading XML root tag, we should be able to understand what kind of content the XML root tag has. First element of an XML document is root tag. It contains other XML elements. It may be child, or it may be having subchild and also optional attributes, so that giving name for an XML document, and also it is very important to give proper root tag identification. It is a kind of process by which we can extract a noun from the problem space. So before giving a name for an XML document, we should know why we are creating the XML document. Based on the purpose, the XML tags can be retrieved. To prepare an XML document for employee salary management, here the root tag, possible root tag I have listed: employee underscore salary, employee hyphen management, or also we can create without any space between salary processing. It's a single word we can create as a root tag. We know that the root tag also paired tag. While creating XML document, we should be very careful about giving proper root tag. The root tag will have further child, subchild, attributes, content, everything, so that giving proper naming is also very important, not only for root tag but also for all parent, child, subchild attributes also. Now I can show you how to work with the root, parent and child elements. How to add a child as well as subchild elements for a root tag. First, we should identify what are the relevant noun according to the context what we have taken should be identified. Retrieve elements relevant to root tag. Say for example, I have created an XML document for employee salary. Assume that this is a root tag in which I would like to have basic. Like this, I can create a tag, and we know that salary, in the sense, it is one of the important component for an employee. So basic HRA, like that we have DA, any other deductions that can be listed here. I have closed HRA and also I have closed DA. So in this XML element salary has three child elements: basic, HRA, DA. If you want to specify or include any more elements, that we can have it. In this XML document, I am creating document for salary related. For a salary, I have included basic, HRA, DA. Any other deductions that can be included. So what is the important thing that we have to understand from this? The document should be very close to problem space, and the root tag should be very close to the problem space. Within the XML document, say for example, I am creating employee management .xml. In this, I can have one of the component is salary, and another component leave management, and another component personal information. So it is very related to the employee management system, so that I have given the name for an XML document as employee management.xml. One of the, but I have not specified any root tag for this. What is the relevant root tag? In the sense, I can have employee. Employee is a root tag which has three child elements. They are salary, leave, and personal. You can rearrange it according to your need. So the three child should be included here as salary, leave, personal. What is the root tag? Employee. So this is the way we should create XML document, and we should create proper root tag for it. It is based on the context what we have taken. We have to include relevant attributes, child, subchild elements. We may have one more question about this, whether the elements are added as child or sibling. It is only based on the context what we have taken. Say for example, I have an address. The address, whether I have two address, one is temporary and permanent. So based on that, I can go for this kind of categories. So temporary address and permanent address I have. Further, I can include the door number, street, city, pin code for temporary. And also I can include all door number, street, city, pin as a child elements for permanent also. So we have a method of including elements as sibling like temporary and permanent, and also I have included door number, street, city, pin code as child elements for temporary and also for permanent. So it is only user perspective, there is no restriction. In case the restriction has been given explicitly, say for example, create an XML document with maximum 2 child elements and every child can have more than one child element for it. In the sense, you can go for the same method, address, which has like this. I can have before creating an XML document, we have to start with creating pre-processing statement, question mark, XML version equal to 1.0, it is double quoted, then encoding we have UTF-8. This is the encoding pattern we have. Actually, this is the pre-processing statement before starting our XML document creations. We should include the first statement as a pre-processing statement in which we have given question mark XML space version. Version is one of the important attribute, encoding is another attribute for this pre-processing statement. Actually, the statement tells the browser that the following statements are related to XML. Once if the browser has seen this statement, then immediately it is getting ready for checking the syntax of an XML document. What are the syntax? The document, whether the document has root tag, only one root tag is allowed for an XML document. Whether it has been created with a single root tag for the entire XML document will be verified. Then all hierarchy followed for the elements, that should be verified. Then all elements are case sensitive, whether the opening element and the closing elements are having the same case. Otherwise, it will show or it will conclude the XML document is invalid if any one of the 6 rules are not followed. In the sense, the XML document will be invalid document. And opening tag, closing tag given properly, hierarchical elements are arranged properly, case sensitivities followed, entity references are given properly. So these are the XML rules for an XML document that should be verified by the XML parser, also called XML processor. Where it is available? It is available with a browser. When we are opening this XML document, it should be verified by the XML parser, which is inbuilt with browser. Most browsers are having inbuilt with XML parser. how do we create? In this, one of the important the UTF is, that is encoding method. The encoding is a kind of converting human understandable format into machine understandable binary format. The content are transformed into machine understandable form. For that, we have used American Standard Code for Information Interchange, and also we have UTF-8. This is based on Unicode representation. The UTF is Unicode transformation format. 8-bit representation has been followed for this XML document. If I want to create an XML document for employee, I have to create employee. There is no restriction to start with capital E or fully capital letters. It is user perspective, so that we can create based on our need and idea. But all the tags are closed properly. This is a closing tag. This is a closing tag. Like that, we have opening tag, this one. So after making a root tag, I would like to have the salary details. Employee, first I would like to have personal info. Remember, it should be very close to problem space. It is our choice to have underscore or hyphen or like this. I have created the same way. After making a child for an XML root tag employee, all tags are closed properly. So personal info. The personal info, I have name, then EMP ID, employee ID. This is the way we can create an XML document. This is about the personal information, and if you want to have email ID, the way how I am creating an XML tag for employee, I have started with the personal info. I have closed properly, and I am going to start salary. The salary element, whether we should have attribute based or element based, it is also purely based on the context. In which way we are going to have the attributes and elements. Only based on the future access we can go for attribute based or element based. Only based on the need we can have. So every user will have their own document. It is not necessary to have all the documents should be same. Salary, I have an attribute and value. Like this, I can have just for an understanding. I have created this element with only attributes. See, there is no child element for salary. These are basic one of the attribute, HRA another attribute, and DA another attribute. I can close it. I have closed only the opening tag, and here I would like to specify the designation. See, the XML document and its content are very important. I have closed salary. How can we give a name for an XML element? By reading the attribute, or by reading attribute values, or by reading the content. The XML document should be very meaningful. Before giving a name for an XML elements, one thing we have to remember that the users are going to read an element. By reading the element, user should be able to understand what is the content an element is carrying. Because in XML, all tags are self-descriptive tags. Salary, reading this element, I can understand the element salary has basic, HRA, DA information, and also the salary, I have wrongly placed assistant professor as a designation. It can be removed. Now I have make it as salary as a separate component, that is the element, without having any child element for it. So in this case, this is called force close, so that I remove this closing tag, because I know that there is no child or text will be included for salary. Then why should I create closing tag? I can close it force. This is the way we should refine our XML document. So far, personal info and salary I have included, and one more element I would like to have, designation. Now I can add my designation. This is the way the element should be created. In this document, we can understand that all elements are very close to the problem space. What is that? Employee management system. Personal information, salary, and designation. These are the three child elements I have. That's all. The document should be saved with EMP, that is employee management.xml. The .xml is an extension should be given for an XML document. The XML parser can understand XML document. That should start with this pre-processing statement. This is the way we can create an XML document. Coming back to this, create an XML document for the following. One of the important example I would like to have, the root tag has two child elements and an attribute. First child element does not carry any content, which means there is no child, there is no subchild. Then second child element has two elements as a child elements, in which the first child is empty element as like this one, and second child has two attributes and there is no child elements for it. Look at this, how to create. As usual, we have to start with pre-processing statement, then we have to create relevant root tag. In this context, I have not specified the content. Previously, I have specified create an XML document for employee, or create an XML document for fruits, or for animals. In the sense, I have to specify the document content for which we have to create XML document. But here, instead of giving the actual content, that is the context, I have given only the skeleton, how the XML document should be. Skeleton only explored, we have to fix the content for this skeleton. Look at this example. This is the XML version 1.0 encoding UTF pre-processing statement as I have specified earlier. This statement will tell the browser that the following statements are XML and that abide the XML rules. In this, I have created an XML document for library. Root tag library, and it has one attribute called access equal to public. By reading the element itself, the user should be able to understand why this XML document has been created. By reading this XML document, we can understand it is about library management system, and it has been given for all access. That's what the access attribute has been given with public. Within the library, we have first child. As per the rule, what we have, the root tag has two child elements and an attribute. Yes, we have a root tag with an attribute access, and first child element does not carry any content. So, to child in which first does not have any text, which means the CD has been included as a first child and it does not carry any text or child elements for it. Second child, books. The books has, second child element has two child elements in which first child is empty and second child has two attributes and no child for it. So, this is also an empty element. Damaged books, no data found for it, so that the author would like to keep this element as damaged, that is empty element, damaged books. Then the second child of second child books has available books as one of the element that has meaningful attributes. Count equal to 9,395 books, in which issued book is 105. By reading this library XML document, based on the content, that is conditions specified, the document has been created. The same way we can create an XML document. Now, we may have the same XML document in different way, because the XML documents are user perspective. So that I can say I have started with library. Should I have capital letter? No, I can have any library. Library for all people. Okay. By reading the XML document, we should be able to understand the actual meaning of an XML document. in which I would like to have study material, in which I would like to have CD, I want to keep CD as empty element, so that I have force close it. Then books, I would like to have books, available books, assume that 1000 books, in which issued book 500, damaged books 500. Totally 1000 books are available, issued books are 500, damaged books are, I would like to have 200, in which available, totally 1000 books available, in which issued 500, damaged 200, and on rack how many books? Remaining 300. So this is the way I would like to explore the elements. I have created only element with attributes. Suppose I want to specify, these are the total books I have, the detail about books. Now I would like to keep this, and now I want to make record, that is as record manner. So books has book, okay, book, in which author or book number equal to B101, title XML applications. Likewise, I have to specify the author name, publisher, ISSN number, okay, but I have not included everything right now. Book is one of the record, and I would like to repeat the same. In this book, this is the way I have created records. Look at there, the attributes are unique. See, this book element has the same book number, title, and everything. This is 2 books I have in the same title, XML applications. So books included. Now the study material should be closed properly. Study material. Yes, you can check. This document has study materials, library, root tag, one of the first child study material which has CD and books and study material. Only one child for library, which is study materials, in which CD is a first child, books is a second child. For books, we have only one child that has been repeated twice. I can say 2 child elements for books. Look at here, we should not miss any content, but for easy understanding, I have created 2 different XML documents for the same context. Try to have the same figures. 9,395, issued books are 105, same we have to have. Just for understanding, I have created this XML document. So XML document giving the root tag also very important, and further by reading the XML elements, user should be able to understand what is the content an XML document carrying. Create an XML document for the following. One more example in which the content are just given, computational problems can be solved by using various solution tools, which are Windows applications, mobile applications and web applications. We know that window applications are standalone, which means it can be installed in a particular machine. It is graphical user interface or command user interface. GUI, graphical user interface, in which by using mouse, light pen, joystick, we can control the operations on the particular window. And another one is text based command user interface. It's a sample document. The context only I have given. For this context, just we have to create an XML document, and there is no restriction. I have added only 3 important topics I have explored for solving a computational problems. Mobile applications, handheld devices are coming under mobile applications. It's like palm devices, mobile phone, pager, tab. This kind of devices are also coming under graphical user interface, enabled with internet and sometimes working without internet. And web applications, websites, web pages, URL are components of web applications. It should be working well with standalone computers, and also it is working with networked computers. So web applications can be categorized differently, but for creating an XML document, I would like to have the XML document for a problem solving method. After giving a naming for an XML element, we should create with the pre-processing statement. It is quite common for all XML elements. Whether it is our own choice, should start with capital letter or small letters. There is no restriction for giving this. Even we have not given this encoding, by default encoding will be taken. I would like to start with tools. By reading this, tools, problem type as computational. So by reading this, I should be able to understand what kind of, right. Just I have created root tag for my XML document computational problem solving.xml. The tools is a root tag. It is very close to the problem statement. The root tag, how it should be, that we know. The root tag should compresses all other remaining elements. This way, the root tag are to be created well. The tools I can categorize as web, window, mobile. So this is web, then mobile and window. Further, I would like to explore this is the text I would like to add for an element web. So, working with the help of internet, accessible everywhere. So, this is the advantage of web applications. Then mobile, on the fly we can work with applications with the help of internet also. The way we have to include window applications. Look at there, I am creating child for window along with the text. So, here I would like to place some text, guy, and this is CUI. We can operate. Look at there, two child. This is one child and this is another child along with the text for window application has been given. So, I have to close window properly. I should not close with the capital window, right? It is wrong because we are violating the naming for opening and closing tag. It should be both should be same. This is XML document which is tools has been closed properly, and also web application, web has been closed, then mobile application, that is also closed properly. Further, the window has been closed properly. Okay, this is the way we have to create an XML document. I would like to summarize about how the XML document should be. The XML document should be very close to problem statement, and root tag should be very close to problem statement, and further elements and child, subchild, text, attributes, all should be very close to root tag. So, all component of an XML document should be created properly. Thank you.